All right, we are talking about management of all the tasks, where we are managing the work. So, utilizing, and you'll see ClickUp is on the screen. ClickUp is one version, it's a free version that I find is pretty good. There's also an app where you can manage this, and again, it's free. So there's this beauty in having another tool. You can utilize, again, multiple other tools. A lot of people like Trello because it's even prettier. If you're in the tech world, I use Jira a lot because that's just what I used to use. But if I'm managing collaboration projects, I typically utilize ClickUp. So if you have now done your planning for what you want to accomplish within the quarter, you are now going to put those key tasks into your project management system. Now, how this works is you'll come in here and it'll create a workspace. As you see, I've got a couple different workspaces, and I could click on those and go to that workspace where I can have a whole nother set of tasks. And I think you get X amount for free here. So there might be like three workspaces that you get for free. So just so you know that if you are collaborating, like how that can work. Um, I'm going to give you a simple overview and we can continue to dive into this more. I've trained companies, teams on how to utilize this and implement this. And I want to just start with saying that this is a new habit. And as a new habit, I would recommend that this be the thing that you check in with every single beginning of the workday to really see what's going to move the needle forward for you. I always like to check in with my calendar and check in with my project management system. And then y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Sometimes I need to write these things out first, but I also have like a paper one that I can keep right on my desk. And then I will take what's on the screen and I will write it down so that I can visually check in with it and not have to keep switching between tabs. But you will figure out what works best for you. And I say that to just help you in not feeling overwhelmed, not feeling like you're failing, not feeling like, oh my gosh, this isn't working for me. Like you want to get this set up because one, this is going to help you with managing yourself. Two, it's going to set you up to be able to manage a team or bring on help to work on collaboration projects. This is a game changer. Okay. So we're on our board. There's all these things. Again, you can expand this tab. There it is. So you can expand this tab. In your spaces, there is a dashboard, there is a documents tab. Now, you might think like, well, I have it in Google Docs. Why do I need it over here? And again, it's a preference thing. Some people like to just have it all in one spot so that you can, not have to navigate between a million places. Sometimes I will copy paste things. Again, if I have a team thing going on, it might be better just to have it all in one spot so I'm not having to go, well, here's the Google folder and here's the project management sheet and not having to send them into a million places. And then there is a timesheets option. I find this can be helpful because you can track how much time you're spending on projects. You can track how much time you're spending in your business. Not a necessity, but I just want you to know that these tools exist. So we're coming back over to our homepage. This is what you would see. If you click on manage cards, it gets into a lot more stuff. So let's go over to, I'll find my spot again. It's always the tricky parts, right? Okay, so we're going back to our space, and this is our list. So you'll see those showing up over here. We're going to add a task. So let's start with one thing. So if I have a new client, and I'm just going to type new client so that I'm not exposing anyone's thing. So new client, and I'm going to put in a description of what done looks like. So it's a slightly different way of working. What done looks like. So this would be sent over analysis of marketing, um, current marketing evaluation with suggestions for improvement and sample marketing plan. Okay. You can assign it to someone. You don't have to, but if you have a team, you can create a due date, which is what I highly recommend. So I'm going to put this as due by Friday. I'm going to mark the priority. Like, how high is it? It's not urgent. It's pretty high though, because I'm a little behind on doing that. And then you can add a tag. Now, if you add tags, if you create tags, you want to keep this pretty broad and think of it in terms of how you are going to need to search to find it. So I might type client, and then I might type marketing. Okay, so I'll have those in there. Now I created a new board just for an example here, so I don't show all my my other stuff. Um, and then we are going to create the task. Now, if I come back to this, you can see that you can add attachments. I find this is extremely helpful. And in the world of project management, I was on a $40 million project at one point. Um, Putting it all in this space will eliminate a lot of time searching for stuff. So while you've got it top of mind, go ahead and attach. So this, if you've got a Google Doc, you can put the hyperlink right here in your notes. You can make comments to remind yourself what you did and where you left off. And then what I really love is having subtasks. So of this, I'm going to look at and I'm going to say one of the subtasks is marketing evaluation. Another subtask was sample marketing plan. Now I know there are two things that I need to do, and I can create sub due dates for that. So in order to complete this by Friday, I want to have this marketing evaluation done by tomorrow, and I would like to get this other one done by Friday. So that gives me a timeline of getting this done. Again, you can make additional notes. You can put a time estimate in here. So what do I think this is going to take me? Oh, I'm like, oh gosh, this will probably take me, I think, 5 hours. So I'm going to put that in there. If I time block myself time, which I would want to do next, I'd want to go over to my calendar and go, okay, if I think this is going to take me 5 hours, right? This is one of the things that we kind of do and why we've been building up to that point. I can go over to my calendar and I need to find 5 hours on my calendar to block off to get this done by Friday and when I want to send it to them. Okay. Um, you can add links again, as I mentioned, and you can add comments. Those comments can have links in them. You can leave voice notes. So it's a really great collaboration tool. All right. So I've got this done. Now I'm going to look at what else needs to be done this week. And I need to create the Poppy article And so I can list out a bunch of things and then I can go back and edit them. Sometimes what I do is when it's completely done, then I'll assign it to myself. And if it's not completely done, like the card's not ready, then I don't assign it to myself yet. Um, Coming back over here, I want to go, there's a board. This is the view that I really like to work from because I can drag and drop. Now, what I like to do is in progress, and let's make it a pretty color. So now as I'm working on that, so let's say I've got this one in progress, I can put it in the in progress. And typically the way that we want to function is we want to address our highest priority tasks first. So this gives us that visual. And then if we have some time, we'll work on the higher, but we work in progress of what we have listed highest, high, normal. This will help keep us in prioritizing our tasks so that we don't get caught up in doing all the little tasks and then our big high priority order items keep getting carried over. Now, what's also common is if you find this happens a lot is a hold tab. So if you're waiting on information from someone else and you can't do anything else with that, if that's a normal occurrence for you, you can create that additional spot for that. You can add additional views. I really love having a calendar view. What this helps me do is to see when my stuff is due and I can look at it and see like what I need to get done today. So it's a slightly different way to approach it and visit it. I find this works really well for me. Um, One of the things that I do tend to utilize the docs over here for is we've been doing with like sprint planning is what it would typically be called, is looking at like what all I want to accomplish this quarter or this month so that as I'm managing my projects and managing my tasks, it's all right here. And I can copy that and paste it over into Google Drive. And if I want to make more notes and all that stuff, but typically I will keep that over here with this. So let's say I'm going to do December 2024 because I'll probably just use this for the rest of December since I've already got it. Um, there is AI, you can add tables, add columns, you can create lists, sub pages. So there's a lot of options. I'm just going to click start writing. Okay. So our overall goal is to complete outstanding tasks. And then I could list those outstanding tasks. So if we've got things that like need to be wrapped up, wrap up projects. I want to complete um, marketing clients. And again, this is just part of my business. So you might have something else that you're doing with your business. Complete marketing clients, evaluations, and 2025 plans. So that gives me some priorities, right? So as I'm now making my tasks, I want to like list these out here, and then I can go and put them and expand on them in those tasks. Now, the number one response I get from this, from everyone I teach this to, is going, Izzy, that is a lot of work and a lot of planning. I would rather just start doing. Why do I need to spend the time doing this? Because the majority of us do not have a full direction in which we're going. We are putting out fires as we go. And if we can do this, we can begin to prioritize what's going to move the needle forward. instead of getting caught up in a lot of feel-good projects. Not to say that those shouldn't be done, but if it becomes the new year and you've still got a ton of outstanding tasks and projects that are still not fully finished, the way you would in which you approach these creative, fun, feel-good projects is it's going to start to get heavy because there's this weight hanging out over here, and you're going to then start to get in this juggle. I want to do this, but I need to do this, and then you get paralyzed, analysis paralysis, and nothing gets done well. So this allows us to work in a way where we get more done and we feel better about it. Not only that, but like we will be far more productive. There's a whole institute, the Project Management Institute, that has measured these things intensively of completion rates of multi-million, if not billion-dollar projects, and going, how do we accomplish more? How do we get them done? How do we get them on time? How do we get them done on budget? So, like, this stuff works. Okay. Now, again, it's a habit. And we can work on these things together as we look at these. And again, as the business owner, and we even use the term business owner in project management. If you're owning the projects, you're the business owner. And the business owner does some tasks. They typically don't do all the tasks. Their goal and their role is primarily to make sure that this part is done. And sometimes even there's a project manager or a scrum master that will help them in outlining all of this. That was typically my role. So allow me to be that for you during office hours and things like that. So I would highly recommend that you start implementing this and that we start utilizing it during our sessions so that we're not, again, the biggest problem I see is people are just winging it from day to day and sometimes week to week, but most business owners are not doing the quarterly planning that will allow them to truly move forward. So I'm going to exit out of this. Okay, there's a lot of features, a whole lot of features. Let's see if it's saved. I might have not pushed a saved button. There we go. So it automatically saved for me. And now it's there. All right, so I'm going to stop recording.